Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. You're watching Release with Shauna Elise, and we have Tasha here with us. So today we're going to do a video kind of talking about dressing based off of your size and how you want to represent yourself, but also when you're dressing modestly in a modern, say how you
dressing modest in today's
society.
And still feeling sexy
and beautiful, like yeah. So this conversation kind of got started with her husband and I. We were talking about how a lot of people, when they transition into faith-based religion, they feel like they have to dress modestly and not feel comfortable in how they look. They feel like they have to now be frumpy and not as beautiful as what they felt whenever they were not dressing that way. And we're here to prove you wrong today, that you can dress modestly and still feel comfortable, confident, and beautiful. So today we're going to talk about that, and then at the same time we're going to also talk about how she transitioned from, you know, really being into a lot of makeup, weave, just having the confidence and security in herself to go out and represent who she really is as a person, because at the end of the day, it's internal. If you're not feeling beautiful and confident and sexy internally, you cannot put that out into the universe because you're not feeling it internally. So you have to figure out what's going on with you while you're not feeling that way first, and that way you can go forward and be that person that you want to be. So.
Oh, my name's Tasha. When Shauna approached me, it was definitely through my husband, who already mentioned. So that right off the bat tells me he's a good listener. He knows that I would be a perfect candidate for something like this in this video, because I do share with my husband my insecurities. Some people might think that's unattractive, but if your spouse at the end of the day is the person you need to turn to trust with that type of information, it's good that he recognizes it to where opportunities come to him and he can lead me to Shauna. So that way we can be able to come to you guys to show you that it is possible. Even though the world changes every day, society gets bigger, it gets more colorful, it gets a little bit more scary, you can still be in with society and in your age range. I think that's a big thing for me. Dress your appropriate age, but still feel your femininity, and also just not feel like you're putting too much out there because you are modest.
That's going to be our word for the day, is modest. Whatever word you need to insert in there to understand it, that's what word you can insert in there.
Absolutely.
So
for me, I would say that being in high school, I was definitely smaller. I didn't have a lot of assets, but I had what I had at the moment that I thought was enough, again, in society at that time. It was enough, so I wore very tight clothing. I wore letters across my assets because it accentuated them even more. So I wore like the sweatpants that said baby girl across the butt or up the thigh or across the chest, something that just made those type of things that I was lacking stand out. And that was in high school, probably junior high. I'm also the smallest out of my family, so I had to get new clothes. I couldn't just get things that were passed down to me. And that also was the foundation of me starting my own look. I didn't have to fall into the trend of my sisters, which they went into their women bodies very fast. They're very voluptuous up top and below, and I just didn't have that. So I was into Daisy Dukes, fishnet stockings, high heels, accessorized more than what I should have. And every day that I walked out of the house, I can say I felt good, I felt confident, I loved getting barked at, like no matter what. Walking into Walmart was definitely a big deal. There was no time where I would dare walk into Walmart with sweatpants and a tank top until Drake's song came out, and I felt comfortable, like, okay, that's what now at that moment they envisioned as sexy, because you know, sweatpants, hair tied, no makeup on. They thought that was sexy, and that's kind of what I fell into. Fast forwarding to when I got married, it was a big transition for both Philip and I because we were still learning. it wasn't a snap right away that we have to dress more modest because we're turning into this new faith. Of course, for him being a guy, I don't think it was that big of a transition. He was wearing a lot of business attire anyways because of his job. However, he did retire the Babes, the Air Force Ones, the Jordans, the Converse, to now strictly old school Jordans. So it's like the older Jordan. And then most of his shoes now are all dress shoes. He also had big oversized jackets, oversized t-shirts, the hats, the do-rags, and that was just all retired. For him, it was such an easy cut off. It was not that big of a deal.
I cannot even see him dressing like that. Like,
never, right? With a gold chain and the red plastic whistle. That was Fillmore. If you guys know him, you should probably check him out. But that was him. And for him, like I said, it was an easy cutoff. For me, being his wife, it wasn't that easy because I struggle. I don't think I've ever had a female that I really looked up to look at their style as being a woman and a woman of God at that. You know, being in a marriage, being a mother, I never had somebody look up like that except for my own mother. But my mother is a whole different body type since I was little. So she's always worn stuff that fit her body and she still looked beautiful. However, for me, my style was different. So to incorporate now my style and not, I think that's also a big thing, is you're not wanting to lose yourself as you transition into your faith. Because then you start feeling lost. You start feeling like, well, who am I? But then that transitioned into, you do need to, you do need to be reborn into that. And I think that's one thing I did struggle with, because I still wanted to be a 17-year-old girl, still sexy, still getting barked at, still getting the attention, even though it was inappropriate attention. I'm married, what for? You know? So in my personal life, that was one thing that I struggled with. But another thing was weight gain. And women, we all can relate. Some women can't, though. When you start picking up weight and you're still squeezing into stuff, it's just not even right. You need to just kind of accept it.
Just because it's made in your size does not mean you
should wear it. Absolutely. So for me, it was, I had a knee injury, and when I first met my husband, and we were still transitioning in our faith. So when I got my knee injury, I picked up about 30 pounds. And I didn't have the luxury, I was out of work, so I didn't have the luxury of buying my hair, buying my makeup, buying the clothes I wanted to wear. And now that I'm 30 pounds heavier, I had to now just accept the hand-me-down. So I had to use all of that to at least still look decent for the day. And it was such a struggle that it just it manifested into more of a depression of wanting to just eat and gain weight, not be active. After a while, when me and Philip finally got married, is when I got serious about my weight. I worked a job as a dispatcher where a lot of my limousine drivers were doing this thing called African mango drops. And that mimics the HCG diet of 500 calories a day with these drops, little to no exercise. I've seen it work right before my eyes. That was another thing for me. When I look at weight loss stuff, I have to see it. I have to know a person that I can touch to know that it really works.
Actually happened.
So I've seen it. Me and my best friend did it, and we both lost about 40 pounds, 30 days. Easiest thing. No, I wouldn't say easiest thing. But the fastest results I've seen to keep me motivated to want to do it. I lost all that weight. However, it wasn't as healthy because I not only lost all that weight, but I lost my woman figure. So my backside was flabby. My thighs were gone. My collarbone was there. And it just wasn't what I would picture myself if I was smaller. And so I started to work out to gain back the weight, or gain back at least muscle, healthy weight. And I did that. After that, it was back to eating normal. So I lost the weight in 30 days. Within 6-7 months, I had gained all the weight back and then some. So I think that's a lot of things that women struggle with, is we want to see such fast results and easy, because everything else, it seems like in our life, is so hard. So why not appreciate something that comes so easy? But we forget that there is value in blood, sweat, and tears.
Right. For sure.
So I gained back all the weight, went right back into depression. It took a toll on me in my marriage, around my friends, because now I didn't want to go out anymore. I wanted to be a recluse. I wanted to just shut my doors. I didn't post pictures anymore. I didn't want to be anywhere where somebody else was posting pictures. Right. And all the while, I have a husband telling me how beautiful I am, but for some reason, just coming from where I am, that was not enough for me to want to be out there and be by his side. So when he would go out, I would stay home. When his friends would come over, I'd go to the room. And you know, at this time I was only 24, 25. Right. And it's like, that's such a young age to even feel like you're not pretty.
Live your life.
Yeah,
either, yeah,
or be loud. You're supposed to be vibrant, you know, within your 20s, 30s, 40s even. Now I am still at an unhappy weight, but I have some type of spunk or swag within how I dress. I have my off days, as I'm sure all of you guys do, but for the most part, being with my husband, when we go out, I still get dressed up. And it was a realization that, you know, I don't need the attention of other people, whether it's men or women. I need the attention of my husband. Right. So I need to exude confidence and clear my insecurities, even though I know deep down he knows them. Right. But if I'm walking near him like his prize and everything, we good.
Yeah, be his prize.
Right.
Don't look there and walk with your head down. You don't want to talk that kind of prize.
Right. So after that, kids came, so that also just added more weight gain. And then, you know, you have the postpartum antics that come after that, so you just kind of stay where you're comfortable. And what made it so easy to be in that space is that there's clothes out there that can make you still feel like you're in that space, even though you're out with people. And that's how I come to wearing oversized shirts. That's my comfort zone, and Shauna here is going to break that for me, because I will wear oversized clothes because I don't want anything to shape my true figure underneath my clothing. So
yeah. And so I want to touch on that. A lot of times when we are dressing our insecurities, and I'm not going to lie, I dress my insecurities. I told her before, I wear a lot of dusters and vests, because what it does is it elongates my center part and it makes me look slimmer than what I actually am. And even though that's a positive way to dress your insecurity, I'm also trying to hide an insecurity, which I need to face that insecurity at the same time. Same thing with wearing like oversized tops. There's difference from buying an oversized top versus a top that is too big for you. So oversized, intentionally oversized t-shirt, intentionally oversized jackets, those type of things are the things that you want to look bigger on you. But when you're buying shirts that should fit you, go ahead and stand back. Like for example, in this shirt for her, she would want this to fit her more in her waistline, because what that would do is if this actually fit her in her waistline here, it would make her look a lot smaller than what it does when it bags out here. So right now she has it tucked in, but even if it was tucked in and this part was tighter, her silhouette will look a lot slimmer than what it does. So even though she thinks that she's hiding the fact that she's hiding her shape, she's actually hiding the positive sides of her shape, that her waist is small and she's not drawing attention to it, because she still could have that tuck and get rid of the area that she's uncomfortable with showing. So we're going to talk about that in our video. We're also going to talk about, you can put your arms down, girl. We're going to also dress her. So our next video that I want you guys to watch right after this one is going to be the outfits that we chose for her. So what I did was I asked her a series of questions based off of what her style is, who she kind of looks up to. She brought up Sanaya Lathan in Napoli Ever After. I'm pulling the chair back up.
I love
Because I'm
her.
too tall on here. She brought up Sanaya Lathan in Napoli Ever After, and then we also, I also pulled colors for her that I think that will look great on her skin tone, complement her skin tone, silhouettes of dresses and tops that will complement her figure. At the same time, staying true to who she is. What we did is we picked things that she could wear for work, she can dress up, she can dress down, and things that she can wear on date night with her husband. So, go ahead and catch us in our next video. This is Shauna and
Tasha.
you're watching Release with Shauna Elise. Go ahead and subscribe down below, and thank you for watching.